Max Caulfield is your typical bright 18-year-old student. She is curious, articulate, and feels like she can change the world. Who hasn't been there? But one day, everything changes for her as a tragic moment gives her superpowers. No, not flight or invisibility or laser eyes, but the ability to turn back time and change the past to try and make life better for all those around her. But her story isn't really about that, it's much more personal. This is about your friends, enemies, and acquaintances at school, and Life is Strange really does a great job of bringing the town of Arcadia Bay to life. From your childhood best friend to your favourite teachers to your most hated schoolmate, everybody has their own personality and mannerisms which almost instantly makes you feel familiar with their character after but a moment or two in their presence. Gameplay is centred around walking around various locations and talking to people, with the occasional rudimentary puzzle thrown in. Some of these puzzles are timed and can feel a little frustrating, forcing you to rewind time every 5 seconds or so, but most of them are innocuous enough and give you a bit of a break from the dialogue. The dialogue itself is generally well written, with only a couple of hella bad moments, and I found myself liking and sympathising with most of the cast. It should be noted that Life is Strange deals with some very heavy themes, ranging from suicide, murder and euthanasia, to mental health to disability, and mostly handles them well. I was somewhat concerned that the game would portray disabled life as being inherently bad, but it turned my expectations around wonderfully. My big criticism here is actually with the mental health aspect. There is one character who is explicitly described as being mentally unwell, and another who is just implied, and both are violent characters whose violence is a manifestation of their mental condition. There might be a couple of other non-neurotypical characters whom I can remember, but neither are explicitly mentally unwell, and both are portrayed as being somewhat off. This wasn't anything that took me out of the moment, mind you, just something I noticed looking back on the experience. The game is split into 5 chapters, with the first being free. I found the first 4 very compelling with very little feeling of filler, but the 5th suffered a little from having to tie up all the plot threads, and it started to take agency away from the player, very much mirroring what was happening to Max, but it started feeling like I was controlling the camera of a cutscene rather than exploring and living in this world. This got compounded by one scene bugging out and losing all of the lip sync animation, causing what should have been an emotional moment to just jar. The actual finale of the game was good and satisfying, but the lead up was a little bit of a chore, but it didn't ruin the game in any way for me. In short, if you want an engaging character drama with a cast of funny, quirky and lovable people who, for once in video games, do look just like real people, then I can heartily recommend Life is Strange, particularly as you can try out the first 20% for absolutely nothing. This is a game which I will remember for quite some time to come with a lot of fondness, and I hope you do too. If you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a like, and if you want to see more like it, then subscribe to my channel. I do Let's Plays of Final Fantasy XII, Deus Ex and Hitman, along with impressions of games and chat about gaming news while playing Euro Truck Simulator 2. But above all, I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye!